Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your August monthly horoscope for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Every time I share some content, you will get an alert. Also, if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope to your device every morning, please see the link below this video and you can sign up. Also, if you'd like to take advantage of my fabulous offer of a 12-month forecast, a character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth, totally unique to you, to give you searing insights of your future prospects and potentials, please also see the link below. That is 30% off. Hello Cancer, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for August. The month begins with a sparkling alliance between the Sun and Mercury. They're absolutely side by side, known as cazimi. So the Sun boosts the innate energy of Mercury, which governs communication, travel, distribution, technology. So those areas for you, especially around resources or your self-worth, really come sharply into focus. Now, on their own, this would give you an enormous opportunity to progress. You still can. It's just on the other side of the heavens, the rather more resistant energy of Saturn is just slowing them down a little bit. So if we do have a great idea, the importance here is to make sure that we systematically check it out. If you're talking to anyone about gaining some funding for an idea you've got, you need to make sure that you do your research and present your plans in a very persuasive way, which wins their confidence and trust. Now, this first 9 days of the month, therefore, can see you feeling a little bit restless, because the Sun in the second house is how you feel about yourself. And if you're wanting to change something in a radical way, and Uranus is very much about being radical, different, freedom-loving, independent, it may in some ways unsettle the foundations of your existence, which is what the second house represents. So that can create a kind of tension. It doesn't mean to say that you can't make changes that won't work out for you, because you can. It's just, it may churn you up a little bit, particularly if you're someone who does like that stability, which is totally understandable. Now, of course, Saturn and Uranus have been in conflict since the second week of January, peaked on the 17th of Feb, the 14th of June. It's come to an end on the 22nd of July. So we're only just really coming out of a big tangle that's dominated this year. And that's created tension for a lot of us. Now, that influence is going to come back into play in the last 5 weeks of this year, the first 3 weeks of 2022. So this month, at the start of this month, is a kind of transition period where the effects of them are still felt, but because they're impacting on other planets as well as much more broadly on themselves. So the new moon, which occurs on the 8th, is really pushing you to take that fantastic combination between the Sun and Mercury and convert it into something more tangible in the following month. So, because the new moon squares up with Uranus too, the way that you're marshalling your resources really reminds you not to be too impulsive. Now, I think that's probably a little bit counterintuitive for most Cancer people, because you're fantastic at managing resources and often end up as leaders in business or supervisors because you have a gift for management. But that doesn't mean to say that you're not getting some real sparks of imagination and inspiration which are pushing you to be a bit different. You may also find that your values are starting to diverge from some people who in the past have provided the support structure in your life. You're evolving in quite a radical way with Uranus's help, and that means letting go of some of the things that's given you a base point may feel a bit scary. So it's almost like you're moving into unknown territory. But what's supporting you magnificently at the start of this month is that Venus and Mars are in the sign of Virgo. Remember, Earth carries water. Virgo's Earth, your water. So their combination means that you can interact with others, have conversations, be very persuasive with the help of Mars, very charming with the help of Venus. And you can find that other people may feed into this potential brew that's boiling up for you that could give you some different options. And a lot of what they have to say could be very valuable, particularly from the 11th, because then Mercury moves into Virgo and you can take the ideas you've had but share them much more effectively with others, because basically Mercury governs the sign of Virgo, so it's really come into life here in a magnificent way. Now the 15th does see a quarter moon in the sign of Scorpio, which for you is your 5th house of joys. So you could be tempted to splash out a little bit from the 15th for a week. On the 16th, Venus moves into its home zone, one of its 2 home zones of Libra. Loves being here, but for you, this is about the home. If you are spending some money now, don't be surprised if it is on decoration, your garden space, and in some way enhancing the comfort of your everyday existence. There could also be some kind of gathering to do with your family, which you find very uplifting too. So on the 20th, Uranus goes into retrograde, the last of the big outer planet beasts to do so. So they're all in retrograde now. And this is just asking you to keep refining your ideas. Don't be fearful. If you've developed some exciting ideas and then decide that they're not quite right for you, realign quickly. Uranus is asking you to go with the flow, not to sweat it too much. If it doesn't feel right, release, move on. The 22nd sees a glorious blue moon in the sign of Aquarius, which for you is very much about longer term resources that Saturn was resisting at the start of this month. But because this blue moon combines with the expansive though retreating energies of Jupiter, some kind of good news around your finances can develop over the following 2 weeks. Also later on the 22nd, the Sun joins up with Mercury and also Mars in the sign of Virgo. So your life is going to get speedier, quicker. You're going to feel more active. You're going to want to physically move around more, but also use your mind more. So that can be exciting. The 23rd to the 27th does see Mercury in a rather dreamy opposition to Neptune. If you are discussing any contracts or anything to do with travel plans, do micro-analyse the details. But on the 30th, Mercury does also move into Libra, joining up with Venus. So that need to just move back into a homey, kind of thinking about where you live, how you live there, with whom, becomes much more prominent right at the end of this month. But it's definitely a month where resources, business, money are right at the heart of your agenda. But there is the opportunity to communicate really effectively. And I think there's going to be lots of information exchanged this month, which can be really wonderful for you. And remember, the stars prompt us, but it's us that make the decisions.